guys, welcome to your very last math video lesson by Miss Fry. We are going to do this math project for 2 weeks, and after that we're just going to do miscellaneous puzzles and brain teasers and stuff like that. But this project is for planning a camping trip, and those of you who are on the last meet, there was we did a quick vote of who would like to plan a camping trip versus planning a trip to a national park, and this one won out. So we are going to plan a camping adventure. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it, what it looks like. There is the PDF file for this is underneath. I'll be emailing it to your parents, but it is also underneath the welcome page on the Math Schoology, and it's going to be in a folder called Plan a Camping Trip. So it says, let's go camping. They have finally agreed. You have been begging your parents to plan a family camping trip with your best friend's family. They told you last night they spoke with your friend's parents, and both families will go camping together next month. The camping trip will be for 3 full days and 2 nights. You will arrive before breakfast on the first day and leave the campground after dark on the 3rd day. The coolest part is that the parents have all agreed to let you and your friend plan the whole camping adventure. It's time to get planning. Okay, and that says the big 5. So the things you're going to plan are where to camp, what you have to purchase necessary gear, you have to plan the meals and purchase the food, set up your campsite, and then plan a daily schedule of activities. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is figure out where you want to camp. You'll need to research different locations and campgrounds and decide what will work best for your group. Once you have selected the perfect location, you will need to purchase the camping gear and supplies you'll need, plan meals for 3 days, purchase food, plan how you want to set up and organize your campsite, as well as create a schedule of activities for each day. You want to make sure this is the best experience ever. Okay, so some of these pages, so you can kind of go through on the PDF and decide which pages you want your parents to print. It's 40 pages total, and I just printed back to back, so that was 20 pages, which is more than I'd like, but I don't know how else to get you this activity, or you can also do it on separate sheets. Okay, so many choices. No matter where you live, there are many places that you could choose to camp that are less than a day's drive away. From coast to coast, there are many amazing places to experience the outdoors. In the boxes below, make a list of the benefits of camping in each of the indicated locations. Now, one thing I want to tell you about this is you can either work on this project alone. You're going to see a lot of places where it says your group, or you can get with a friend who's in our math class, and the two of you can kind of talk about it over the phone or over a Zoom chat or FaceTime or what have you, and plan it together with someone in our class. So it's totally up to you. But these are the different places you could camp. So you can actually research true places to make it more interesting. Okay, so after you do your initial research, it says the final 3, after all the discussion, record the top 3 campgrounds that your group or you is considering for your camping trip. Then explain why you've narrowed it down to these 3 sections. And then you're going to narrow it down to 2. Okay, so then once we narrow it down to 2, you're going to do the Venn diagram where you list the, what each one has, the pros, and just kind of compare and contrast both locations. And then it says the deciding factor to help you. Now, you don't need to do all of these sheets to decide, but I would definitely like you to do this one, and then whatever these other sheets that help you to decide which camp spot you want to go to. Okay, so the deciding factor in the boxes give the top 3 reasons you chose the camp location you did. So when you finally have decided, then you would do this sheet. Then explain the thought process that your group or you went through to arrive at your final selection. Last, write the place you will go in your camping trip at the bottom of the page box. Okay, and then this is where you just kind of give some more specific information about your campground. The name of it, state or country, how far from home, how you're going to get there, how long it will take you to get to the campground, what's the climate, okay? And so just a lot of different things to fill out there to make that kind of fun. And then you're going to write down, make a list of the things you absolutely cannot go camping without. So this is your kind of initial planning page to start brainstorming. What do you need? What is a necessity, meaning an absolute? And then this I thought was kind of fun. That's why I left it in there. It says, do some research about the area where your campground is located. Then make a list of animals, insects, and plants you're likely to see. Now this is the School in the Woods connection that I definitely wanted to make sure you had as part of your planning. And then essential gear. For each of these items pictured, explain why it's important to have them on a camping trip, so it kind of will help you think. I thought this was kind of fun. You get to draw a map of the campground and label the parts of the campground you find most interesting. So it's the whole campground, not just your camp. Last, explain why you chose the places you did in the space at the bottom of the page. And then I thought this was kind of funny. Campfire tunes. Create a list of songs your group or just your family can sing around the campfire. And here's where we start the real math. Okay, so you'll just read through this. So you're shopping at Adventure Mart and you need to select some tents to accommodate all the people in your group. So of course you need to know how many people are in your group, and then you just kind of go through and answer these questions and weigh your options and decide what you would need to get. And then you need to go shopping, and it has a list of things that you might need. You have to decide how many you need and what is your grand total. So what you're doing too is you're figuring out how much this camping trip is going to cost you and your family. Here's your meal planner. So you're going to use this space to first plan out your meal, because you certainly can't just go to the, well, you could, but you could just go to the grocery store and start grabbing things for your camping trip. But it really makes a lot more sense to plan out your meals. Maybe at home, one of your parents does a menu, and then you make a grocery list based on the menu, and then you go shopping for it. So that's what you're going to do for this. And then this is the sheet. This is kind of like you go to the grocery store. This is how much you're going to need of each thing and how much it's going to cost you. And then you're moving into setting up your camp. And then it tells you what your campsite, your specific place, must have. And then there's some different optional features you could put in there. And you actually get to draw that out on your grid. So this is kind of a good math spatial thing, and you're going to be working with geometric shapes. And then what to do. So this is when you're planning your schedule out. These are all the different things that you can do, how long you can do them for. Of course, you don't have to stick to this list if there's something else you think of that you'd like to add in. And then you have your schedule. So you have day 1, morning and afternoon, day 2, morning and afternoon, and then day 3, morning and afternoon. And then once you are all planned out, you just kind of do this. It's a summary sheet. So this is where you're going to kind of fill this out. And what I'd like you to do, I haven't decided exactly which parts I'd like to see, but this is a for sure one, because this is going to be your summary sheet. And then I thought I had to put this on there. So this is some math where you have to figure out your Hershey bar, some different fractions, and you're going to have to do some adding and subtracting of fractions. And this was, I thought, super cool, because you need to create a bar graph of the animals you saw. And then you're going to create a circle graph of the insects that you saw. And I couldn't resist this one. I know it's math, but you are going to write a silly ghost story to tell around the campfire. It must include each of the following: a nasty flavored candy, an eerie mist, and a goblin that can't stop laughing. This one I thought was really good too, because this, being a naturalist at School in the Woods, and you're hopefully being at School in the Woods has helped you to be more outdoorsy and stuff like that. But this is really interesting. It says, many people feel that when you go camping, you should either not take electronic devices or keep them turned off. They argue that we are constantly bombarded by electronic communication, and that the whole purpose of camping is to get away from it all and simply enjoy being out in nature. What is your opinion? Support your opinion with specific reasons and details. So I thought that was kind of a good one, because I've definitely experienced that. Okay, and then I thought, oh, this would be fun for you to send a postcard back home. This is where you get your imagination, pretend like you've gone and what happened, where there's some funny things that happened. Just for fun, you can draw some pictures of what your camping trip would have looked like. These sheets are truly just for fun and kind of silly. It's s'more recipes. And so these 2 pages, front and back, are for you to create like a s'more recipe booklet. I honestly never knew that people did variations on s'mores until I went with a friend who got cinnamon graham crackers. And then the chocolate wasn't just Hershey's chocolate. She got the Ghirardelli squares with like caramel. Oh my goodness gracious. I was the best s'more I ever had in my entire life. So I had to put that in there just for fun, that if you make s'mores in a fun and special way. And then finally, when you finish, these are your project reflections. So you're going to kind of write about doing your camping trip project. And then you're going to critique yourself. What parts went really well? What could you improve on if you had to plan another camping trip? So this should really be a fun project for you to do. It should get you excited for, hopefully getting out and getting camping sometime this summer. And as the week goes by, I'll really decide what I need you to show me from your project for your grade. And, and I'll probably take some input on the live meets, see how things are going. So remember, you can do this by yourself, or you can get with a friend in our class and plan it together. I think that makes it a lot more fun to do it that way if you're comfortable doing it that way. So I hope you guys have a great time doing this. Like I said, it's 2 weeks long, and I will kind of fill you in on what I want you to submit for your final grade on this as we go along. So take good care and enjoy planning your camping adventure.